Simple prerequisite to be a series MVP, your team has to win the series.
I don't know about that. I mean, obviously that's going to be the overwhelming. It's going to be that way 99 something % of the time, but it shouldn't have to be that way.
No, Jimmy Butler was the MVEP, not valuable enough player. His team didn't win the series. You're eliminated from consideration.
Well, hold on a second. In all seriousness, why do you have to win the series? Why? No, I mean, really, why?
Because if you don't win the series, you weren't valuable enough. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't necessarily agree with that, McMahon. I mean,
okay, well, you guys probably have Chuck Howley jerseys then.
I don't get that reference. I'm sorry if that makes me like a fool. I don't know.
He was an old Cowboys linebacker that was on a losing Super Bowl team and still got Super Bowl MVP.
Well, right. so it's happened. Jerry West had it happen in the NBA. It happened one time in 75 years.
Yeah, it hasn't happened since the invention of the freaking internet in either sport. And it has.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, when it happened, those guys used to they'd have coolers of beer on press row. A bunch of drunken doofuses made those votes. That's how that happened.
Can I give my rationale?
And I'm kind of wagering that a drunken doofus made this vote.
Well, look.
Did you see where Bontemps went at halftime?
I'll give you my rationale if you're done lecturing me. Look, I thought actually part of the reason I was going back and forth all game. I was asking a bunch of people. I was texting Brian. I was asking our buddy Nick Friedel, who was sitting next to me. I was asking a lot of people because I was going back and forth between Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Jimmy Butler. And Nick, I thought, actually summed up the reason why I ended up voting for Jimmy, which I was honestly surprised. I thought he'd get at least another vote or two. Like, I did not think I'd be the only one who voted for him. And Nick said, when you come back a few years from now and think about this series, the only thing you're going to think about is Jimmy Butler, which I think he's right. That game 6 Jimmy had was one of the single best games I've ever seen anybody play. He's the only reason that series was competitive. And the two guys on the Celtics were really good, but they both had rough moments throughout the series. I didn't think either one of them.
Oh, and Jimmy didn't?
Well, I didn't say Jimmy played. He didn't score 40 points in every single game. He only scored 40 points in 2 and had one of the best games I've ever seen in game 6 to get it to game 7. And then had 35 in game 7 and nearly dragged his team over the line at the end. So
can I give you a simple bit of life advice?
Sure.
Never, ever, ever let Nick Friedel have any influence on your decision. Okay.
Well, I thought he had a very good point there. And I thought about it all game. And I just thought Jimmy was the most important player in that series by a significant amount. The Heat were completely overmatched anytime Jimmy wasn't involved in this series.
It was a incredible feat that the Heat got that series to game 7, and an outrageous feat that they got that game to a single possession in the final 30 seconds.
And here's the other thing about my vote too. Jimmy Butler takes that shot with 7.
Did he give you like a few cases of Michelob?
By the way, Jimmy Jimmy didn't like it. Jimmy didn't even want to talk about it. If you'd asked, if Bontemps had asked Jimmy would have been like, no, don't vote for me.
Yeah, because he has 4 brain cells, which is Bontemps plus Fidel combined come up short.
With 17 seconds to go, Jimmy Butler pulls up for a 3-pointer to put Miami up by 1, right? If that shot goes in, Miami wins the game. Every single person votes for Jimmy without hesitation.
Yeah, because they would have won the series.
Because Jimmy Butler missed
small detail.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying he was by far the best player in the series. So because he misses one shot, he's now completely eliminated from consideration. And I don't think that's how it should be.
I will say this, like, that's a lot of people, when they saw Bontemps vote, they were like, well, did you not watch games 3 through 5? And I mean, like, if you want to disagree with the vote, McMahon, that's fine. I agree with Tim Bontemps that you don't have to win. I think obviously most of the time, almost all the time, that's going to be the case, but that shouldn't have to be a prerequisite. But the reason that he was the MVP was because of games 3 through 5. And he didn't play poorly because he was choking. He played poorly because he had an injury. And it was the overcoming of the injury to score those those points, to carry them in game 6 and 7. That was the reason why his candidacy was stronger. The fact that he was, injured in game 3 and limping through games 4 and 5 are the reason he was the MVP, not the reason he should not be considered.
But what about
that rationale?
What about when Tatum went back to the locker room and had like a 30-second shoulder surgery?
Well, what about when Tatum had a miserable game? What was it? Game 4? I mean, part of the arc of a series is a guy doesn't play well and then recovers from it. So I don't know. Look, I'm not like saying I'm pounding the table here saying that, Bontemps is right. I just felt it was a reasonable choice. So
I thought all three guys are reasonable choices. I'm honestly surprised that nobody else voted for Jimmy. I thought he'd get a couple of votes. I thought Jaylen would get a couple of votes. I didn't think it would be 8-1. I was surprised.
Oh, anyway. Okay,
now on to the NBA Finals.
Right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.